So yeah, Caitlin Clark is going to be an all-star. And if you guys have not seen the media, what the media are doing, I'm just sitting there like, why do they think this is going to be any different? Why did they think this was going to be any different? Because most of the media who are voting for Caitlin for the all-star team. Why? For a number of reasons.
Rival fans are absolutely spiraling. And it's not because their team lost. It's because Caitlin Clark just strolled into the WNBA All-Star Game like she owns the place. 1 minute she's announced, the next minute the media rolls out the red carpet and hands her a golden ticket. Now the haters are melting down faster than ice cream in Phoenix. Accusations flying everywhere. Conspiracies brewing. Timelines in full collapse mode. So what was it really? Elite skill, unstoppable hype, or pure chaos magic? Buckle up, because this drama is messier than a group chat with exes, and we're diving straight into the meltdown.
Caitlin Clark, the only WNBA player receiving over 500,000 fan votes for the WNBA All-Star Game. Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, the Fever 4. Sitting in the top 10 when it comes to WNBA fan voting for the All-Star Game. Every chance the Indiana Fever fans, every chance Caitlin Clark fans, every time they have a chance to show up.
Caitlin Clark is officially an all-star. Cue the confetti, the Instagram edits, and the absolutely unhinged meltdowns from rival fan bases who apparently believe the universe should orbit their personal definition of earned. Because nothing screams I'm totally not mad quite like typing in all caps on Twitter at 2 a.m., veins popping, while trying to explain how your team's 14-21 record is somehow the real injustice here.
So the two best players in the WNBA, at least to me, are all-star captains. That being Caitlin Clark and Napheesa Collier. Of course, Clark, Indiana Fever superstar. Collier, star of the Lynx, who is having an MVP season. Clark has had a little bit of an up and down season for her, relatively speaking, because she's been in and out of the lineup. Collier did miss a few games with a back issue as well. And of course, Clark had the shooting slump before she went out with the latest injury. Don't know how much that was related or is related, but Clark's impact on the floor is apparent when you see her there and when you see her off, and her numbers are still awesome. Not to mention, she's by far the most popular player in the league, and this is decided by fan voting, and it makes you feel good about what the exhibition can be in.
Let's not act like this is some shocking plot twist. The moment Clark entered the league, she didn't just bring talent, she brought gravity. Real orbit-shifting energy. Ratings jumped. Attendance doubled. Merchandise vanished faster than Beyoncé tickets. And yet, here we are again, trapped in the same tired rerun of haters, the never-ending saga. Somehow, the player putting up numbers and dragging an entire franchise into relevance is still being labeled overrated by fans whose teams would happily sacrifice their entire starting five just to get a whiff of that kind of buzz.
Well, it's pretty clear. There are two key WNBA players that are on a different level than the rest of the WNBA. And when it comes to Caitlin Clark, she's even another step up from the person that finished second. But look, it'd be irresponsible of me not to mention Napheesa Collier in all this because, well, she got over 1.1 million votes herself.
If Caitlin isn't an all-star, then nobody is. Seriously, what does a player even have to do anymore? Spin plates on a unicycle while draining logo threes with her offhand? Solve climate change during halftime? Because averaging 16.3 points, 6.2 assists, and 5 rebounds as a rookie, while carrying a permanent target on her back, is the definition of all-star production. And if that still isn't enough, then we need to redefine the entire concept. At that point, we might as well scrap the game altogether and replace it with a cornhole tournament starring backup mascots.
Caitlin, when she's played, has been the best guard in the WNBA. She has. I mean this when I say this. It is it's not like she's like a stratospherically better than a Skylar Diggins, but she's been better when she's been on the floor than any other guard. Even in her slump, she had a 20 and 10 game. She had a 20 and 10 game in her slump. She set the record with most 20 and 10 games. She's the only guard with triple-double. She had a 32, 9, and 8. She nearly had a 30-point triple-double in a win against the Liberty, who at that stage were undefeated.
And spare me the media bias tantrum. The media isn't cooking up stats in some secret underground lab. Caitlin Clark is doing what generational players do, changing the game just by existing. You don't tune in because she's trendy. You tune in because every time she touches the ball, something unhinged might happen. She pulls from the logo, threads no-look passes through traffic, makes it all look casual like a Tuesday night YMCA run. She's doing things that probably shouldn't be legal without a Marvel logo on the jersey. Meanwhile, the pearl clutching over her all-star spot sounds like she snuck in via a shady backdoor deal, mysterious briefcase, secret handshakes, dimly lit parking garage. Be serious. Because the same people yelling that she doesn't deserve it are watching every game, every clip, every slow-mo replay, just praying for one missed rotation or a turnover from 3 games ago. You can practically hear them whispering, "Please mess up. Please mess up." At this point, it's less analysis and more a bizarre sports voodoo ritual.
Caitlin Clark proves once again, nobody really started to care about the WNBA until she started playing. In 2023, in the WNBA All-Star voting, they got a total of 1.17 million votes, just a year before Caitlin Clark joined the league. 2 years later, 1.29 million votes as a single player.
And let's be honest, even if Caitlin Clark dropped a triple-double with 0 turnovers, 5 steals, and cured a minor illness in the third quarter, the haters would still call it mid and scream conspiracy. Because this was never really about merit. It's about a rookie walking in, flipping the script, and refusing to follow the sacred rule of wait your turn. That's what they can't stand. She isn't just part of the system, she's the engine, the fuel, and the fire all at once. Caitlin didn't ask for the spotlight. She just burns so bright it exposes every crack in everyone else's game. She's playing with teammates learning her tendencies in real time, defenses doubling her by default, and referees whose whistles might as well be surgically fused to their lips every time she exhales. That's not a normal rookie experience. That's a crash course in surviving basketball's version of the Hunger Games.
Well, what do you know? What do you know? Caitlin Clark does it again. Shout out to Nafisa Collier. Caitlin Clark and Nafisa Collier are named your all-star captains. Well deserved, well deserved. Caitlin Clark is the GOAT. Nafisa Collier is playing like the best player in the league right now. My front runner for MVP, playing for a dominant Minnesota Lynx team. This is right. You guys got it right. They should be the all-star captains.
Meanwhile, some of the loudest critics couldn't diagram a pick and roll if you handed them a Sharpie, a whiteboard, and the answers. But suddenly, everyone's an authority on what a real all-star looks like. Let's be clear. If Caitlin Clark's name wasn't on that all-star roster, the backlash would be louder than if they canceled the game altogether. You don't get to call something an all-star game while excluding the most talked about, most watched, most impactful player in the league. That's not a game, that's just brunch and sneakers. Then there's the she's only popular crowd, stomping around like popularity is a disqualifier. Since when did being wildly entertaining become a crime? Sports aren't a tax seminar. They're meant to be watched, argued about, clipped, replayed, and obsessed over. Without Caitlin, this all-star game would be watched by the players' families, 3 ESPN interns, and that one guy who never changed the channel after SportsCenter. No Caitlin, no watch. She's not just part of the WNBA ecosystem. She is the ecosystem's marketing department, brand manager, and executive producer rolled into one. And somehow, people still want to act like her presence is a grand injustice.